Good morning, everybody. I've decided to record this video to talk about karmics. They're also known as karmic contracts, karmic partnerships, and I'm going to talk about my experience with karmics because I've experienced two, and one is still in my life. And this is with karmics that have come into my DM's life in the 3D world. So anyway, here we go. I hope it resonates with some and may help some get a different perspective on why this is happening to you. So I was with my soulmate for 3 years, and I never imagined that I would never be without him. It was a very, very deep connection. There were huge highs and huge lows. And I remember in 2015 calling out to the universe and saying, I am so in love with this person, and yet I am so deeply unhappy, help me. Within a few days, a female came into our life in the form of my soulmate's old friend from the past, came into our lives, and I knew deep in my core that this person coming in was going to shake everything up. It wasn't a feeling of jealousy, it was just a knowing. And when I discussed that there was more to this female friend than he was saying, he shot it out the water. He said, how could I think such a terrible thing? I'm his soulmate. He wants to be with me for the rest of my life. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, within a matter of weeks, this karmic did everything she could to passive-aggressively show me that what he was saying and what he was doing were two different things. So, in essence, she actually did me a favor. It absolutely humiliated me at the time. It broke me to be lied to. How could somebody that loves me so much treat me this way? But looking back now, I am so grateful for him and so grateful for that experience, because it was the tip of the iceberg for my ascension. It took 12 months to recover from that, and almost a year to the day from leaving my soulmate, which I now realize was my pre-twin. My true soulmate came into my life. I didn't know at the time when he came in that he was a twin flame and I was his twin flame. I didn't know any of this. I just knew he was probably another soulmate because there was a deep connection. We had a blissful romance last year. We did go into separation because although we felt incredibly at ease with each other and we got on really, really well, there was something in between. There was something not right, and we very, very swiftly moved into push-pull, chasing and running, which we were equally doing to each other. It wasn't typical. The DM was running and the DF was chasing. We were doing it to each other, and I wanted to sever contact with him, sever whatever we had 6 months ago. Even when I knew that I was possibly on this twin flame journey. I didn't want this journey. I was resisting this journey because, quite frankly, I felt with my soulmate I'd been through enough. I was tired. I just wanted a quiet life. So I made the decision, went to see a medium, clairvoyant friend of mine who doesn't know much about the twin flame journey, and she said, listen, he needs to learn some big lessons here. He needs to learn karmic lessons, and if that means he's got to go off and date somebody else and unfortunately go through the same kind of betrayal and cheating that he always has been. Oh, funny that. I've been through the same, so we share the same wounds. But anyway, she said if that's what he has to go through and then really see the true value of you two, then so be it. You also have the opportunity of somebody else who is a soulmate, and they can both offer you beautiful lifetime of love. The choice will be yours, but in the next 5 to 6 months, she told me I have to do the work. I have to focus on myself, and I have to throw everything into my work, my business, because the next few months are going to transform my life. So she made it seem that it was very much a work situation, but actually what she could see and what she was channeling was, yes, it was work, but I had to go through this process that you have to on the twin flame journey, and only separation can really allow that to happen, because it's important that we do the clearing and the purging away from each other. It kind of keeps our union sacred, so there's not too much damage and there's not too much blood on the wall. So a karmic sometimes has to come in, which we have pre-agreed, let me tell you that, although it doesn't feel like it feels like punishment, has to come in to allow ourselves or our twins to go through our stuff in the safety of another relationship, where the feelings are not too deep and don't destabilize us because we're overwhelmed by those feelings. To be with somebody that we're fond of, to work through our issues, to some twins is a safer, more comfortable way of doing it, although they don't understand it themselves. So I completely understood, and I knew that my twin very soon would be dating somebody else. I was also presented with a karmic if I wanted to take the rest of my journey with somebody else for a while, and that was in the form of my ex-boyfriend coming along, who was suddenly waking up spiritually. And I've known him for years and he's never been spiritual, and now he's come back and he's like, I'm feeling spiritual, I'm ascending, will you help me on my journey? We could maybe come together and have an amazing soulmate relationship for the rest of our lives. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, a year ago I probably would have jumped at that, because my ex-boyfriend is adorable. He had issues, but he was adorable and he was never cruel to me. But I made the decision to go this journey alone, because to be honest with you, since my twin had come into my life, he totally eclipsed any DM. I have had male interest, and I have had the opportunity from him, my ex-boyfriend and others, but I just want my twin. I don't really want anybody else. So I chose to do this on my own, do the work. So we went into total separation, and then I got news that my twin is dating somebody else. And the reason why I knew that was not because I was stalking him at all. It's because we have close mutual friends. So this is what makes my journey a little bit different, that although we went into total separation, we knew we were both going to be seeing each other again at parties and stuff like that. And I know some of you think, wow, how lucky am I that I could still see my twin occasionally. Well, let me tell you something. There's nothing worse than seeing your twin, the love of your life, the love of your lifetimes, with somebody else. It is extremely challenging, and it was obviously my journey and my process and what I had to go through. That very, very difficult, and I wouldn't wish it upon anybody. But I also wanted to show him, my twin, that aside from everything, we can still be friends. He needed to go through this process in order to wake up, in order to purify himself and heal. So I honoured the process, I honoured the relationship. I've met the karmic a handful of times. It hasn't been the nicest of experiences, because as much as I have sent love and light to her and honoured her, because I feel that she's doing us a great service in helping in our journey, not the nicest of individuals, and a lot of dark energy. But that is the way it is. I've taken it on the chin, and I've got through it. And going into zero space really helps, because if you disconnect from your twin and send them away with love and leave them to work it out with the universe, and tell yourself that what they're doing and who they're doing it with is none of our business, it really helps you to disconnect from the journey and focus on you and your life and your mission. We've got a lot to do, and we've done a lot already. I know from some of my twin flame friends what we have endured the last few months. Incredibly tough, you know, and some of us have seen our DMs with other partners, or know that they're with other partners, and have had to deal with that inner conflict. But you know what it's done is it's challenged us to the core and made us really get those wounds out, the betrayal, everything that with our previous experiences, and clear it out once and for good. So all I wanted to say to you today is that, you know, if you're going through this same situation whereby your DM has recently got with a karmic, or is married to somebody else, and you know deep down that you are twin flames, and you're being faced with this situation, just see that it's an important part of the process. It's not punishment, it's not personal. You know, the karmics have come in for a reason, pre-agreed by yourself and your twin. They've come in to help clear karma and teach lessons, and they in turn will be rewarded in the future with true love. They have not come in to take your DM, your twin, away, although it may feel like that. They've come in to teach lessons and clear some karma, you know, probably from previous lifetimes. So if you can see it from that point of view, and know that your twin loves you, and it just has to work through this and work to get to completion, then hopefully you can stand more outside of this situation. And if you are going through a lot of pain, it means that you're still attached, because attachment brings pain, and it's pushing you to forgive and to love your twin unconditionally. And now, you know, I know my twin's with his karmic, although he did leave the relationship 2 weeks ago. He came back to me, he messaged me a lot, but I knew deep down that all he was doing was testing the water, which is what a lot of our DMs want to do at the moment, because they don't know that we love them unconditionally. They don't know that we're necessarily going to take them back. So my twin has come back and has messaged me quite a lot, and whilst he's testing the water, the karmic came back fighting for him. And maybe because I wasn't that, you know, elated that he'd come back and I miss you, I love you, and blah blah blah, when she came fighting, he probably thought, I'll give her another chance, because I don't even know if my twin is really gonna forgive me. But I knew he needed to go back to finish completing his journey with her, and I'm quite happy with that. I don't want him back not completed. I don't want him back still hankering after wanting to be with her. I want him to come back with certainty. So if that means this is going to go on for a bit longer, then so be it. It gives me the opportunity and the space to continue with my work, and to really get my mission off the ground. So I hope that resonates with some of you. Please leave your comments, ask any questions. I feel, you know, confident to say I'm quite experienced with karmics now, because they've come into both relationships, my pre-twin and my true twin. But so I hope this resonates with all of you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And I look forward to speaking about other subjects very, very soon. Have an amazing day. Sending you lots of love. Bye.